Yo, what is up guys, it's Pedro here, and in today's video I'll be talking about a scenario that PFF put out where the Washington Commanders would trade back but still take a quarterback, but maybe not the one you would expect. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button and that notification bell as well so you never miss a video. Alrighty, so this happened about 10 days ago. I was going to make a video on it, soon, or I thought it was going to be sooner, but I had some tests and some other videos to make, so it is what it is. But now we have it, and a lot of people have been talking about, Pedro, do you want the Commanders to trade up, or could you even make a trade down video? So I'm going to talk about that possibility right now. And I'm not the biggest fan of trading down, especially when you need a quarterback and there is a quarterback draft. I strongly believe you should stay put or go up to get the quarterback you want. And trading back, like let's say the Commanders traded back to 3 and got the third best quarterback, then that just shows they really didn't love whatever quarterback they got because they're willing to trade down and potentially miss the chance to take their quarterback at 2. So, but let's get into it and talk about the potential trade, what it would be, how much we would get, and also talk about who we would pick at 8. So this is the mock draft with PFF. They said the Commanders would receive a 2024 first-round pick, which would be number 12, so that would be this year, a 2025 first-round pick, a 2025 second, and a 2026 first just for number 2. That is a lot. That is 2 additional first-round picks and a second-round pick. There are 2. There's a first-round pick next year and the first-round pick the year after that. The Broncos, I don't think they're going to be terrible. Let's say Drake May is our quarterback. I don't think they're going to be terrible, but they're not going to be great, especially for the first year. So that pick's probably going to be top 10 in 2025 and maybe 2026 as well. So that's something to keep in mind. I think that's a great, absolutely great return for the number 2 overall pick. You're still getting someone at 12. You can maybe get a quarterback or another position or just punt on it and go for a quarterback next year. But you are getting, in my opinion, good value. A 2025 first, a 2025 second, and a 2026 first. 2 additional first-round picks. Like, you can do a lot with that. But at the same time, you're missing the chance on a quarterback. And we haven't had a franchise quarterback in a long time. I mean, I don't really know who you would... I mean, Kirk Cousins, I don't think he's a franchise quarterback. He's a good quarterback. He's a solid quarterback. But he's not a quarterback you can win with paying him $40+ million a year. And that's basically what would have happened here. Or I guess at the time it would have been a little bit less, but still a lot of money. And you need a good quarterback, and we have the chance to get Drake May or Jaden Daniels. But let's look at the quarterback that they have, that PFF has us taking. So they have us trading up to number 10. So we wouldn't be trading up a lot. We would just be giving up a second round pick, which was actually this year's 40th overall. And we'd be getting number 73. So we are actually giving up a decent amount, in my opinion, for 2 spots. But we're taking our quarterback, and that's J.J. McCarthy. They said there's a bit of added wheeling and dealing here for the Commanders as they move from number 2 to 12, and they use some of their day 2 ammo to jump the Vikings for a talented developmental quarterback in Michigan's J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy has been moving up draft boards a ton. When he announced that he was coming out, I was like, he was going to the NFL draft, I was like, I don't know, is he going to be like a second round pick or a late first? But he clearly got some good info, or people are telling him he's going to be a high pick, because all these mocks are having him at top 10, top 50, or I would say mostly top 15, top 20, but some of them have him in the top 10. This one does. I saw one the other day with him at 8, so he's moving up the boards, and I think that's going to continue to happen for him, and it's just something to watch out for. I don't think the Commanders are going to be in play here. I'm just scrolling through so you guys can see some of the other names on the board here. I don't think the Commanders are going to be in play for McCarthy. I just really find it hard to believe that they're going to trade down. I think it's going to be it's going to take a lot for them to do that, and they have to be comfortable with some of the other quarterbacks like McCarthy, Bo Nix, who they have going here at 30, which, again, I don't want him. The only guys I really would consider taking are the top 3, Caleb, Drake, and Jaden Daniels. I started watching film today. Jaden Daniels, I mean, it was only one game, and it was Ole Miss, and that's probably one of his better games, if not his best game, but he looked absolutely amazing from what I've seen. Obviously, has his faults, but I would be happy if the Commanders picked him at 2, or Drake May, honestly. But I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Jaden Daniels. I'm going to keep watching more and more and see if I like him more than Drake May, because Jaden Daniels is definitely creeping up the draft boards. You look at his stats, JJ McCarthy, not Jaden Daniels. Freshman year, didn't play much, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Sophomore year, had a good year, 22 touchdowns, 5 picks, and 65 basically percent completion percentage. This year, even better year, 72% completion percentage, 3,000 passing yards, 22 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 3 rushing touchdowns, and won the Natty. So he had a great year, but he wasn't asked to do a lot. Let's keep it real. He wasn't asked to do a lot. In the game against Washington, he probably passed the ball like 15, 20 times. Yeah, 18 times. Didn't have to do anything in that game. And you can't knock him for that, but you wanted to see what he could do in that game, and he didn't have to do anything. And that's why a lot of people thought maybe he'd go back, but then once Harbaugh announced he was going to the NFL, or leaving Michigan and going to the NFL, it kind of made sense for him to leave. But you wanted to see a little bit more from McCarthy, and he's good, but he had some good weapons, and he didn't really have to do a lot. But a lot of people think he has, good traits. He's got a solid, frame, 6'3", 202. He definitely has to gain some weight there. 202 is not enough, but probably has to get to 220, 215. He doesn't have to do it overnight, obviously, but eventually get to that point where he's close to that 220 range. But yeah, for me, it's a big no for me making this move to take JJ McCarthy. At that point, I would just wait till next year, because if you run it back with Sam Howell in this roster, you're gonna get you're gonna have a bad record. You're gonna get a top 3 pick, in my opinion. Just take a quarterback next year, and you'll have those other first round picks. If you somehow don't get one, you can move up to get one to get the number 1 guy. That would be my scenario. So if you're trading back past 3, or past the point where you're not getting one of the top 3, then just don't take a quarterback. Take a tackle. Take Joe Alt if he's somehow there, or Olu Fashanu, or I guess Bama's J.C. Latham. Don't know much about him. Or even a receiver if you want, or an edge rusher. Just don't take McCarthy. I just don't see the point of doing that. I really don't. So I would just take the best player available that's not a quarterback and move on.